Hey everybody, Renegade68 here with some more Let's Play History Investigations Miles Edgeworth Prosecutor's Path Blind. So last time we're really putting the heat on the Courtney family, Marsh family, on the mother son people. So yeah, it feels really weird starting these with no music. So let's try to get some music. There we go. That pup is hiding something. He was at the scene where the body was discovered last night. He also saw the footprints. Ha! And despite that, he still claims to know absolutely nothing about the incident? Bullshit! Isn't that a bit too convenient? Good point. These footprint-shaped holes have not been proven to be related to the case. Still, though, you can't deny there's something strange about them. Just because he saw the holes doesn't necessarily mean that he's involved in the incident. After all, we don't even really know if the holes are related to the incident. You sure about that? Take a look at the pup's face. Good point. You can tell a lot from a person by how they react when they're cornered. Especially a kid, I guess. Even though he seems kind of stone cold like his mom, he's probably able to break a lot easier. Looks pretty shaken up to me. Looks like he hit the mark, but John doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't feel like talking? Then I have an idea of my own. Let's check the tape. Agent Lang, what is your intention? The police have a device that lets you analyze the video footage up close and personal. Ooh boy, more scientific stuff maybe? With Lang's help? Agent Lang, you'd suspect John enough to go that far? Sure, why not? I mean, might as well explore every angle. As long as John's lips are sealed, and Courtney's, it's maybe the only way for us to get closer to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, if I'm not mistaken, you have that device with you, correct? Is it the same device you used in case 2? Mr. Analysis, ready to go, sir! Oh, it is that same device! Now we're talking! Prosecutor Edgeworth, would you please perform the video analysis for us? Sure. What, because I'm the main character? You'd think Lang would be jumping at the chance. She wants me to do it. Who knows what kind of faults that Wolfman will find in it. Oh, now you're ready to jump to my side now that John is under suspicion. This isn't exactly my strong suit, but I suppose I have no choice. Alright. Are there any new clues shown on the video? What? Any new clues? There's zoom. Oh, I see. Any new clues? So there's no video, it's just a picture that we were supposed to be zooming in on. Alright. Nothing over there, I don't think. Nothing over there, I don't think. Oh! Oh! Is that him? And why does he look kind of naked? Or maybe he's wearing a skin-tight suit? Anyways. This is... What's the matter? I want to see too. Huh? Ah! Hey! What's wrong? Show it to me! Prosecutor Edgeworth, I request you submit the evidence to the court. What court? Stop acting like you're a judge even when we're not in a court. God. Please take a look at the top right corner of the zoomed in video. This person is... the President! Impossible! Huh? No way! Well, you could only see it in zoomed in video, so I guess it must have been dark enough that you could have missed him. It seems we finally found it at last. The evidence that points to the true killer. This video places John at a major disadvantage. You're wrong! That's not right! I didn't know anything about this! It's not gonna cut it. It's clear that you and the victim were together at the same place where his body was later found. Similar thing could be said for the bestie. Don't think it was him though. I'm sure it's gonna be someone new. Just like how there was someone that was controlling the bestie in the previous case. John Marsh, there's no doubt you killed the President! No, this can't be. Why? Why would you... John, please don't tell me. Did you really kill the president? Are you really doubting your son? I'm sorry, but this is not the kind of thing I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more devotion than that. I mean, yes, you're an enforcer of the law, but you're also a mother. How could you ever doubt him just like that? It's not like he has fingerprints on the murder weapon or something. It's nothing decisive. Mr. Edgeworth, is this really decisive evidence? No. Mr. Prosecutor, looks like even you can't object to this. It could be just as well be Blaze. Nuh. That cop said he didn't know anything, right? He's still saying that. I believe him. And yet, the president's right here in the video. John, what are you hiding? John, please tell us the truth. The truth is, it's all my fault. Oh, what's all your fault? His death? John Marsh, what did you do? Mozilla's head fallen. It was all my fault. Oh, really? During the rehearsal. He probably thinks it was his fault, but it was actually unrelated. Like somebody set it up to look like it was his fault. While I was setting up the equipment on the roof, I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice. I forgot to turn it off. And my mom called me, so I left the film lot. When I came back to the lot, after the phone call was over, Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. And right next to it was the president, lying dead on the ground. How can that be? I see. There were indeed traces that something had caught fire on the rooftop. It's just a small fire, so I was able to put it out by myself. So the president's death was John's fault? No, it's not gonna be that simple. Wouldn't that make this an accident, sir? And then what did you do with the fallen head? Took it apart, brought the pieces up to the roof, put it back together. So, you put out the fire and even put the fallen head back on the roof. Which means you were hiding evidence. We can't be having that, you naughty little pup. I didn't do it on purpose. I really did just forget to turn off the heater. When the legs broke, the stand would have tilted if Mozilla's head was on top of the stand. It would have fallen off. So, the head fell down because of the fire? It's definitely not going to be this simple, but I wonder what the contradiction is going to be. If that's the case, I also have a pretty good idea what caused the fire. There's a flammable can next to the heater. It seems someone is lacking in safety awareness. Was it really just an accident? If that's the truth, what was the president doing here? I don't know! There was no one else around when I was there! You expect me to believe that? Well, Blaze was there. The president wouldn't have just come to a place like this without a reason, you know. Indeed, the president's reason for coming here is still a huge mystery. 2 nights ago, he met with Judge Courtney on the roof of the Grand Tower. And last night, he was here at the film lot. Did he meet with John? I'll have to listen to John's testimony very carefully. During the rehearsal, Roboto was setting up the equipment on the roof. I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice. Forgot to turn it off. Then my mom called. Thanks, Mom. So I left the film lot. When I came back to the lot, after the phone call was over, Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. And right next to it was the president lying dead on the ground. Be pretty scary to see a corpse just suddenly appear out of the blue like that. Not to mention the fallen monster head lying next to the body. Panic would certainly be an understandable response to such a situation. Still, all things considered, this is just an accident, right? Indeed, that is if we decide to take John's word at face value. Wouldn't mind having some more concrete details on the state of the crime scene. In other words, press time! On the roof, I use the heater. John, you are still young. I know it can get a little cold in early spring, but you shouldn't have to resort to a heater. It is precisely because he is young that he must make sure to take good care of himself. Yeah, you can't argue with that. However, while it can get a bit chilly during this time of year, I wouldn't necessarily say... He doesn't even finish, wow. Hold it, old man! Is this really the right time to be having this argument? Gah! He's completely right! John, you did well to get the better of Mr. Edgeworth, but please mind your language. If you're gonna be a bitch, be a refined bitch like your mother. What? Let's not forget that he got the better of you too, Your Honor. I know, Mom! So, where was I? After that, I went down to practice. I forgot to turn it off. You forgot to turn off the heater? You didn't check it before leaving the roof? I meant to turn it off. I was too focused on practicing, so... Come on, everyone forgets stuff like that sometimes! I gotcha. I forgot small things like that all the time, too. It's understandable. I mean, and if he didn't know anyone was there, he wouldn't be worrying too much about it. I mean, if he knew other people were there, he might have been paying more attention to it. But if he was getting the impression he was alone, he probably wouldn't have been paying much attention to it. It's understandable. It's an understandable mistake. Although I don't think this is actual cause of death. Not by itself. Like, sometimes I'll forget to turn off the AC or the lights in Mr. Edgeworth's office. Or I'll jump off the ladder for his bookshelves. Or leave prank calls in his answering machine. Let me guess, Edgeworth's about to be like, those were your prank calls? But forgetting to turn off the heater is really dangerous, so you gotta be careful. Some of those things had nothing to do with forgetfulness. John, please continue. Surprised to kick the prank call thing in stride. Then again, it's Edgeworth, you could probably see through them. Looks like you got it rough too, old man. Well, back to my story. My mom called me, so I left the film lot. Thanks, Mom. It was late at night at the film lot, and not a single member of the film crew was around. So then why did you have to leave the premises in order to answer the phone call? Bad reception? Totally forgot about the phone call thing. So I kinda panicked. If I didn't answer fast, I would have been busted for leaving the hotel without permission. In that case, why didn't you just answer it here? Because I was rehearsing! All the cameras and mics were on. Oh, you couldn't have them recording your conversation with your mom. If I talked here, every last word I said to Mom would have been caught on camera. He was embarrassed that the conversation with his mother would be recorded. I know the feels. I think most people would know the feels. Anyway, I stopped practicing for a bit and rushed out of the film lot. When I came back to the lot, after the phone call was over... In that phone call, you lied and said you were at the hotel, correct? Why didn't you tell your mom that you were rehearsing? If I told her that, she would have called that hotel and made them send me a taxi or something. Of course I would have! A child alone on the streets at this time of night. That time, I should say. What sort of parent would allow their child to be in such a dangerous situation? I guess kids just don't understand how their parents feel. Goes both ways, Mr. Edgeworth. Kids worry about their parents, too. Indeed. Now then, John, please tell us about what happened after the phone call. Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. When the call was finished and I came back here, Zilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. Was there any indication that the head was about to fall? I don't know. I was focused on my rehearsal. She forgot to turn off the heater, which led to a fire on the roof. I would think you should have at least heard something. Heard something? Oh, I was wearing headphones, so... Wearing headphones while you were rehearsing? I mean, I guess if you're all by yourself, it's not that big of a deal, but to me it would be a huge distraction. Headphones? Listening to the movie's soundtrack helps me get into the scene. Suppose that makes sense. Had it on full blast, that's why I didn't hear anything. But what about the phone call? Didn't your mom call you? You must have heard that. Well, actually, it's still fine if it's on vibrate. You can tell. So, that's not a contradiction. If they forced me to present it like that, though, I wouldn't be too surprised, though that would be wrong, because phones can be on vibrate. And yet you noticed your mother's... There we go, they brought it up. Vibrate, right? I have my phone on vibrate. Oh, okay, thank you for bringing it up. Okay, the game is smart, I'm glad. If they had breezed over that, it would have been bugging me for a while. My phone on vibrate, oh man, that's how I noticed. Anyway, the head falling. Right next to it was the president lying dead on the ground. What was the state of the body? Was it any different than it is now? I didn't get a good look. It was dark. And you probably didn't want a good look. You suddenly become as quiet as a mouse. I guess John doesn't really want to remember anything about the body. That, or is there something he is remembering that it would be bad for him or his mother? Is that the only reason why he's gone so quiet? I think it's more likely there's something he's hiding than he doesn't want to remember, because he seems like a tough kid. Should I press him for more details? Duh, I've pressed every other statement, so it has to be this one. You didn't get a good look? Then how did you know he was dead? He's clearly shaken. He must be hiding something. I wonder if we ever have a logic chess with John. That'd be funny. Chess versus a kid. Smart kid, though. Wouldn't you normally call for help if you see someone collapsed on the ground? However, you did nothing of the sort. Didn't contact the police about it, that's for sure. Then again, you know, it does look suspicious. Like, why were you alone in the film lot? He was rehearsing, but, I mean, he said that knowing the body was there. So, I mean, it looks suspicious now that we found out. But if he had just reported it in the first place, it would look less suspicious, but still suspicious. So you can't deny that there's some merit to what he did. Should have reported it, but you can understand his reasoning. But he was already dead! Is that so? You seem quite certain that the president was already dead. Now, is there a reason for that, I wonder? Guy was collapsed on the ground, and right next to him was the fallen monster's head. Not stupid. Wasn't hard to imagine what happened. You can imagine whatever you want, but there was no way for you to know that he was dead. You actually checked to make sure the president was dead, did you not? Yeah, that's right. I was scared, but I got up close to the body and checked to see if he was breathing. I thought as much. However, why would he hide that? There must be a reason. Please tell me the state of the body at that time. At first I didn't know he was dead. I would have realized sooner if there'd been any blood. But there wasn't a single drop, and his clothes were completely spotless. Ooh, that's a contradiction. Either way, he wasn't breathing. That's how I knew he was already dead. Would you please append those statements to your testimonial? I didn't know right away that he was dead. There was no blood and his clothes were spotless. That is wrong.